You are now tuned to BS3 Network. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
It's Queen3 and King. It's Queen3 and King. It's Queen3 and King. Queen3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down. Queen3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down. It's Queen3 and King on BS3 Network. Queen3 and King.
Shit, that beat got me feeling like I should have smoked me one, drank me one like Lily did. Oh my God, it's banging.
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of Queen3 and King. I am your host, King Dog. We got our queens in the building. We got a special guest who we'll get to in just a moment. We just lost the seasoned queen. I'm sure she'll be back. You know, she live out in the country and they got to pump daylight for us. So we will get to her in just a moment. Today's episode again, Riskie Forever with special guest host Ronald Riskie Brent. If you don't know, you finna know. Let's see. Before we get into our introductions, let me just say this for our Facebook viewers. Please give StreamYard permission to show your name in the chat. Again, there's a link in the show description body of the post that you'll need to click. Again, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give them permission so we can give you proper credit for your great comments or the stupid shit you say. Either way, just make sure you let us know. And if that, and Lily, if that was Theodora, let's call her by her proper title.
You know what? Blue Streak Freak.
And y'all been checking, y'all been peeping these photos she been posting of her and her husband going all out to brunch and stuff like that. Hey, they in the streets every week. You hear me?
See, I like that.
So they must have got their income tax check back early, I guess. I don't know.
They outside.
All right, let's get to our introductions. We are going first to the season queen. Again, she is all the way almost in Van Augustine. She goes by Coco, Skinny Minnie, Bonnie Maroney, Darling Nikki, the Glam Mall herself. What up, Queen?
Hello, family.
Hello.
I think she got a little something.
How you doing?
In her throat.
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, and let me just say this to the viewers. We have been treating Riskie like family already. In fact, you know how much so? We really just acting like he ain't there, and we doing our regular arguing and shit. We talking our regular shit. We don't care that he on here. Hey,
right.
Hey, so y'all ain't gonna mind if I put some chapstick on there real fast?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you how cold
we don't want them lips cracking.
I'm gonna show you how cold I am.
I wasn't liking the way they was feeling right now. They was feeling kind of dry right now. So I'm like, yo, I got to take a chapstick break real fast. I'm so comfortable right here.
Hey, pull it right back out. Let me see something real quick. Let me see. Hold it up to the camera. Let me look at something. Yeah. Oh, he kept his fruity shit on there. See, let me give you a little thing. You out of Compton. You supposed to know better. Take the paper off that, man. So nobody can
I gotta make sure it's mine. I gotta make sure it's mine. If y'all over there with y'all's peeled off, I gotta make sure it's mine. If you have to fall out of my pocket, I'm gonna know this mine.
All right.
Do it make you feel better to peel it off, Tig?
Oh yeah.
What does it make you happy?
I never really tripped.
See, maybe you ain't never had the
chapstick in my pocket anyway. I never.
See, here's the deal.
I didn't see that till now. I would think when I seen his, I would think that's something you slide up in your nose that you leave your sinuses.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I ain't seen no chapsticks like that where I come from.
Well, let me explain something to you, bro. Riskie. You may not suffer from this, but see. I always try to do things to downplay the number of females that's coming at me, man. So that's a conversation starter if I got the paper on. and I don't want to. I'm already managing as best I can. So, so anything to downplay, you may not have to experience that problem, but I do. So
I'm real tired of you already.
And let me move you over there so we are balanced.
And he lying.
Oh, this is true. They hitting on me. Hey, from 18 to 88, they hitting on you, boy. Wow. And speaking of these fruity lips, we got A Weed in the building. She says, I prefer my guy to have fruity lips.
All right now.
Hey, that's right.
That. Yeah, because I don't like that. I don't like that chapstick. That chapstick that tastes like Vicks ass on your lip. Like it's like
your lips burn.
You putting Vicks vapor rub on your shit. I don't like all that. All right.
Carmex just make you feel like it's something wrong with your lips, and you had to go get that and put that on there real fast. Like that's what Carmex.
Yeah, he got me feeling all super conscious, subconscious and shit. That's me. And see mine, you can't see. I don't know if you can see that, but my flavor ain't that red.
What?
That's that kiwi. You hear me?
Kiwi.
Yeah.
That's
you don't know. See, I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna put you on Riskie. Just hang on, man.
Oh, all right. I'm just basic. You know what I'm saying? I just
oh, no, that's a lie. That's a lie from me.
Or Target or whatever, and I see chapstick, I just reach right there and grab that. That regular cherry or that regular one. You feel?
Yeah, all right, let's finish our introductions. All right, we got next the educator queen, known as Meba TT. I don't know what's in her cup, but maybe she'll tell us. Talk to the people, queen.
Did she hear you?
Water. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, water. Okay.
Okay. Good evening.
She trying to rep a little Sora and shit like that. Don't she? I get sick of that sometimes.
Damn.
Leave her alone.
That's why you're freezing and shit over there. What is that? Sigma?
He is dumb.
She freezing. She
Leave me alone.
Yeah, you're really delayed.
Yeah. The only thing good about this picture is your hair. I don't know if you got your new bag this weekend or what the deal is, but
stop it. See, she delayed.
Yes, she is.
Come out and come back in or go to your phone or something. Fix it, Jesus. All right. And next, we have the baby queen, last but not least. She is formerly known as Blake's mama. Now she is firmly entrenched in the corner of Bronx's mama. She didn't even start to plait his hair like Wilma Jean. It was her mama that plaited his hair.
Mama did that. You know I didn't do that.
Of course. Talk to the people, queen.
Hello, everybody.
Look at me, just froze like a mouse.
She's just grinning
and smiling hard.
Just gazing and grinning.
Hey, I'm gonna leave her ass just like that too. All right, so I'm gonna do this a little differently. Normally, I'll give the bio of our guests and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do this because this episode has started differently already because we're chopping it up through the introductions. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow Riskie just to kind of through some questions and whatnot. We're gonna let him just kind of tell about himself as we ask questions and stuff like that, right? Now, what I am going to do, though, because I thought this was very interesting, is I'm going to read the opening statement from his bio, though, because I think it speaks volumes for kind of how I see life in general, to be perfectly honest with you. So, and I put this probably on some of the promo things that I've sent out on social media and things of that nature as well. So, art is ubiquitous and has been the cornerstone of our civilization. It can be found in the intricate designs of braids on one's head, the construction of buildings, or even in candid photographs of ourselves. Riskie, I want you to elaborate on that statement, man, because I think it's a deep statement and has so much more to be interpreted from.
I mean, the statement is I mean, when you really look at a statement like that, you really just think to yourself, that's a true statement. I mean, everything that is around us, somebody designed, somebody drew it out.
Yeah, man.
You know, it was a part of a process.
Right.
And it took a creative to be able to interpret that into what we see, what we hold, the styles we do in our head, the glasses we wear, the clothes we wear. Art is a part of all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think to an honest extent, I think that we take that for granted. So I'm gonna ask the queens a couple of these questions as well, just to get some different perspectives. And Risky, again, we are family, so you interrupt your family, so you can interrupt us if necessary. So Nikki, let me start with you and ask that question. Do you think, and this is not even a question I had written down, but because of that opening statement and how Risky kind of said something about it, I want to give you the opportunity to answer that question. Do you think we underestimate or take for granted art in our society?
Yes, I absolutely think that we take it for granted. I definitely think that. And I don't understand. No, I don't know why we take it for granted, but maybe we've never been taught certain things about art to know how to appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, and I may have some thoughts about that in just a second as well. Lily, do you think we take art for granted in our society today?
Yeah, I definitely think we take it for granted. I think it may be a lack of ignorance as to why we don't really appreciate art, because art is all around us, just like Risky said. It's in all types of different forms. And I think we box art into
This category,
its own category when it's so expansive.
Right, right. Like they say, if you're not calling it art, then we don't see it as art.
Absolutely.
But in essence, it is, right?
Right.
Mika. So we were kind of, again, based on this opening statement that we read, and I'm gonna read it again for anybody that's just popped on, or Mika, in case you didn't get it. So this is the opening statement of Risky's bio at riskieforever.com. And I got that right, riskieforever.com.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, awesome. And so I just thought it was a deep statement. So it says, art is ubiquitous and has been the cornerstone of our civilization. It can be found in the intricate designs of braids on one's head, the construction of buildings, or even in candid photographs of ourselves. So the question that we're asking and answering right now is, do you think we take art for granted?
Yes, because it's a skill that people don't have.
Yeah, you looking at it great. I see how she look. She can hear it too. She can hear the echo and the crackling, and it's like you eating some Rice Krispies while you talking.
Not Rice Krispies.
Because they snap, crackle, and pop. Hey, you know what the deal is.
It sound kind of coming out my speakers too. That's why I kind of put my AirPods on. Let me see.
Because it was her. No, it ain't yours. It ain't
No,
yours. You stay
it's
like
not.
you is, Risky. It's Mika. You stay like you is. You don't touch nothing over there. It took us all day to try to get you right. So you don't. You just be still.
Do I sound right?
Yeah, you sound great.
Right.
You don't do nothing. That's what I'm saying. It ain't
okay.
you.
Now I put the AirPod in right now.
Okay,
so,
don't you?
But
move.
only on one side.
Okay, yeah. The other one probably don't work good no way. All right. So y'all can see automatically why me and Risky kind of connected. He just, ever since, again, I reached out to him, and we're going to get into a little bit of him, and I'm going to let him talk about how he grew up and all that other kind of stuff. But I heard Risky on the radio station that I listen to, and y'all hear me refer to it quite a bit. The Ticket, radio station, and he was new to Dallas at the time. I think how long had you been here when you was on that station that I reached out to you, Risky?
You know what? I think I had been here for 2 years, but it's like I don't even really say everything is even really like 2 years. I feel like I was in a leap year, like how I was on the X-Men on the Avengers movie because of COVID. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I was here, but I wasn't outside. I wasn't meeting nobody, experiencing nothing.
Right.
Stuck.
And that was even so at the time, then you had probably been here about a year, maybe a year and a few months, because that was about 9 months ago when I first reached out to you or so. And we connected right away. And, like I said, we, did the text exchanges. But what I'll tell you is when I say he always responded, anytime I reached out to him, he responded right away, whether it be text, email, social media, or whatever. He reached out to me, and we connected in a major way about a month or 6 weeks or so ago, you know, to where I had to force him to get off the phone. You hear me? You know, like, man, hang up the phone. I got stuff to do.
Right, man. You caught me at a time I really needed to hear some of the stuff you was preaching to me, man.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that day. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah. That was when I say that day was moving and a blessing for both of us, man. I mean, hey, look at here, you know, it was strong. So talk to me about this. You hail out of Compton, California. So talk to me just basically about growing up in Compton.
I mean, Compton was definitely a challenge growing up in Compton because I feel like I grew up in the height of everything. I grew up in the height of when Colors came out, when gangbanging was at an all-time high, when you would see certain friends, you know, on Friday, and you wouldn't even see that friend on a Monday because he ended up getting killed, you know, over something over the weekend. So it was definitely a one-of-a-kind experience growing up in my city, especially when the crack epidemic kicked in.
Right. It is almost like he listened to the forecast last night, because we actually got to talking about that time, because we did a throwback review of Harlem Nights. Again, the forecast, you can see it on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so we have a throwback review of the month that we'll do. So last night again was Harlem Nights with Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and whatnot. So that came out in 1989. And so as a result, we were talking about what was going on in the country at that time, right? And we said almost exactly those things, you know, height of the crack epidemic. You'd go to bed one night with a group of friends, and you wake up the next morning and you got a completely different set of friends. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to have you elaborate on that a little bit, but I want to get some of the audience members here that have been commenting. Let's get them included in the show. And if y'all have any questions for Riskie, feel free to ask those questions as well, and we'll try to get to as many of them as we can. So again, I think Lily said, this is Theodora, the Blue Streak Freak, says, hey, three queens and King Doc, what's going on, Blue Streak? And she goes, and somebody says, me too, it's fire. I don't know who that is.
That was Theodora.
Okay, and then we got Awita. We've already shouted out to her for about the Fruity Lips comment. And then somebody else says, yes, Lord. Another Facebook user says, hey. And she says, she's talking to Mika. She goes, Mika, it must be your internet provider.
I've been having the same internet provider.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is one of my comrades on the forecast, HRAP-B. You can also find them on the End of the Bench media with End of the Bench podcast. You know, real dope brothers, got some deep content, you know, really for the African-American community. That's for doggone sure. So check him out. So again, we were talking about that last night. And then we got CJ in the building
what
with
up,
the
CJ?
Elevate,
Hey, CJ.
with the Elevate podcast. He goes, hey, what's going on? And Nikki, I was talking to you about how Noah is losing a little weight because she's moving around. So I see his little one is doing the same thing. He's starting to move around a little bit more. So the other day we caught him, CJ caught him going under the couch while he's trying to work out. So you can tell he's getting a little thinner. So again, we talked about, Riskie talked about growing up in Compton and whatnot. So I ask you the same type of question that I asked Donovan Lewis of the ticket is, how did you stay out of harm's way? You know, were you in a position where you had to fight all the time? Did you try to avoid that? Did you have bigger brothers and cousins that kept you out of it? How did you navigate those dangerous waters?
I mean, I'm the oldest of three sons.
Okay.
I mean, I don't per se say I navigated myself away, because I had friends and we all stayed in the same neighborhood and we played outside, you know. So I feel like whatever happened, whatever could have happened would have happened. It wasn't like, you know, when we were in Compton, it was like we were just basically like in Beirut, we were underneath the house or something and hiding or whatever. We basically were outside. You know, we played, and if things happen, things just happen. So, you know, I could say like you know, playing with my friends probably kept me out of a lot of situations, but I could have still been playing with my friends and anything could have happened. So
Right, you're right.
Mhm.
You're right.
I was just able to just, I guess, not be in certain situations that other people have found themselves landed in, you know?
Right. Got you. Okay. And so tell me, how did you get into art? So again, in your bio, it even referenced coloring books. How did you get into art, and how did you know I got something here?
I got into art from sitting on my auntie's lap watching her when she used to babysit me as a child. She used to be an artist, so I used to
Oh,
sit on her
really?
lap.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
dope.
Yeah, it really is.
yeah. I used to sit on her lap. She used to keep me on her lap, and she would have her pad right there, and she would be drawing, and I would be looking, and that motivated me to want to, you know, try to do it on my own.
Oh
So,
man.
That's awesome.
with that being the motivation to me to try to do it on my own, I started tracing a lot of pictures out of coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to go to school at times and take a picture, be like, I drew this, and I traced it out of coloring book. You know what I'm saying? And one time, you know, I got caught up in a situation to where I was a fraud. They found out I was a fraud, and it
Wow.
embarrassed me so bad that it made me really like decide that I really wanted to, you know, pick up on my skills, and this is what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I really started focusing.
How old were you at that point, man, when that all went down?
When you was a
like,
fraud.
oh my God, I was really young. I had to at least be about, listen, it was like the second grade, but I remember this like so clear.
Yeah.
So clear.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's good though. But think about it. You know, I always tell people that, you know, negative experiences and failures, if your perspective
shape.
is right, if you frame them properly, they can actually be more beneficial
Yep.
than successes. You know, see,
Yep.
sometimes when you're successful at something or you get something right, it was on accident. Right.
Yeah.
And so you don't learn anything from it because you fool yourself into thinking that you're better than you are. But when you got to
Mhm.
get it out the mud and come back from fucking something up, let me just be plain. You hey, I'm sorry. You got to. If your mind is right, the learning experience is tenfold. Right.
Like, do you even think about that time? Like, if they hadn't have found out you were doing that, would you be where you
That's a
are
good
today?
question. That's a good question, man.
Because you could have kept tracing and kept, you know what I'm saying? You could have. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If they wouldn't have found out about you, do you think it would have pushed you to the level you are today?
I don't know, because I do be feeling like we all have certain roles that's labeled out there for us, and we decide which role we take.
Yeah.
You know, is it, you know, the reality that I took the role to where I'm right here, but at the same time, it'd be funny to me to be thinking about that reality. What would have happened to that guy right there?
Man.
I can't think about that guy right there, because all
Yeah.
I know is this reality right here.
That's right, man.
Right.
So I'm blessed that I was embarrassed to push me to be right here. And I took that motivation and I ran with it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when we get embarrassed for something, like, I'm going to use this for example. When I was younger, I learned how to ride a bike. I don't care how many times I fail, I learned how to ride a bike because I knew a bike led to other things. A bike led to a scooter, a motorcycle, anything you could think of, a bike would lead to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I mastered the bike. My dad came with a pair of skates. So when he came with that pair of skates, I fell down on my behind 2 good times, and I said to myself, I ain't getting nothing out of this. They not making no motorized skates. I'm good on this right here. I threw them out the door. Now we fast forward to all these years later, and people got hoverboards and all these things, and I can't ride none of that. But a bike, I could get you.
Say,
so what
man.
I'm saying,
man.
it's like we kind of stick to the things that we think that we can move forward a lot faster in the future with. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. That's a deep answer, in fact. I love it, man. And not only was that bike a gateway to other means and modes of transportation, it was also a gateway to other places, right? You know, so it takes you somewhere, right? You know, that you can't get on foot, you know, and then a motorcycle takes you somewhere you can't get on a bicycle, and et cetera, et cetera. So again, it's not only, you know, what it elevates you to on what you're riding on, but where you can go, you know.
Let me turn this light on. It's starting to get. I was having the natural sunlight, but now it's starting to get a little dim up in here.
Okay,
I'm over here
go for it. Go for it. So one of the things that I always talk about is people mimicking greatness, and I think I mentioned it either last week's episode or a couple of weeks ago, where I talked even about Papa Kyler, and how I was very deliberate that I had him go see me speak at this men's conference, because I'm like, because my thought process has always been that far too often our people, our kids, the children in our community, the young folks in our community don't strive for greatness, don't try certain things because they've never seen it mimicked before, you know. So for him to talk about sitting in the lap of his auntie, watching her draw, that basically he saw her achieve something, and it gave him a desire to want to achieve that same thing or something similar. So I think that was dope. So let me ask you about this, about your auntie. Is she still with us today, or she's
she's definitely still here? But I was just thinking about that when you was talking about that, and I know the question you probably gonna ask me next. No, she do not draw no more.
Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna ask.
And, you know, and the crazy thing is that every time I see her, that's what we always talk about, and it's like, I don't know, just that always brings me closer to me and my aunt. That's just something that I don't care if we don't talk for years or we don't talk for weeks or whatever. That always brings me and my aunt closer, that I have that story about her. I always let her know that. And sometimes I even posted on my Facebook page, like, yo, if it wasn't for this lady right here, I probably wouldn't even be thinking about none of this. But she implanted that in me as a kid. So I thank my aunt for that, because I mean, I really love art. I mean, I'm a creative person, so I love it.
Yeah. Was it a hobby for her, or did she, you know, was it something she did in her career? Like how was she into art? How did she get into art?
I think it was a hobby for her in school at the same time, because I don't ever remember her doing it as a profession. As far as I know, I'm the only person in my whole entire family that used it as a profession.
Okay. Dope.
Right. And see, another thing I was thinking when you asked that question, Lily, and as Riskie was answering it, is that it was probably therapy for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so think about it for you, Riskie. I'm sure, I don't even know if we've talked about this. We may have, but I'm sure it's therapeutic for you to be doing what you're gifted in.
Yeah.
Would you agree or disagree with that?
I mean, it is sometimes when you got a peace of mind. See, as an artist,
now he's gonna go there.
Yeah,
man,
I mean, you want me to tell you the truth, or you want me to tell you a lie?
I want you to tell me. Hey, I don't want you. Hey, don't lie to me and try to make it fly to me.
As artists, we have certain feelings, and sometimes when I'm at a certain feeling in my life, I can't. It staggers my ability to create.
Love it, man.
So if I'm feeling great, I'm feeling fine, hey, I'm up, and this is just how my vibe is, like I'm really getting down. And I'm not gonna say that some people don't paint their best when they're going through some of their most critical moments in their life, but sometimes it stagnates me, just that vibe. I can't create, I can only think, because I'm a writer as well. So that causes me to sit down and want to write about it. I've never really got into the position to where I've endured pain and painted about it.
Yeah. Wow.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah.
Wow. We got Ben Sutter as the third in the building, the gentleman who put the BS in BS3 Network. He says, good evening. And so your name, Riskie, we're going to get into that. I need to do a commercial break real quick, but when we come back, we're going to get into how did he become known as Riskie? And we know you want to ask some questions about the Tupac and the death row and all that, and we might not. We'll be right back after this.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they're automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you earned, double. All the cash back from eating at your favorite soup dumpling restaurant, double. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned to snowboard, also double. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. Nope, Discover does it automatically. Seriously though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
What?
All right, then. All right,
I
then.
see y'all
All
being
right, then.
So does that mean we sponsored by Discover?
all right now.
You see what's up. You see what's up.
Look at God.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah. So, one of the reasons why I was thrilled that Discover asked to do a little run with PS3 Network and Queen3 King is because that was the first credit card that I started using when I got into the point to where I was debt free, and now I need to start amassing miles to be able to travel. So one of the things that I think Discover is great for is their Discover Miles card. I spent all my money, my purchases that I made, every bill that I could pay. When I bought a bag of chips, I'm breaking this Discover out because I want these miles to build. So when it got time for me to fly, I use my Discover Miles, or get accommodations, lodging, I use my Discover. So the fact that we are doing business with them right now is just symbiotic as far as I'm concerned. And you should do the same. Check out Discover. Like I did. All right, Riskie. So we working on it. All right, so Riskie, we need to find out how you got the name Riskie. Where did that come from?
Oh man, it's a cold name, man. It's a cold way I got that name, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I was a tagger as well.
Mm-hmm. Now explain to folks what a tagger is, because you're from here. We don't know all that.
Yeah, with tagger, we walked around spray painting our names on buses, walls, anything we could to get up. And I was from LA, so I was a tagger. So I kind of got my name because at the time when I was drawing, I didn't have money for art supplies. So a lot of times me and my friends, we used to go backpacking and racking. So a lot of times I would go steal markers and stuff, and we would do runouts or whatever with markers for paints and art supplies and stuff. So I adapted the name Riskie because it was risky that we was out there going to do that. So So I started calling myself Riskie because I was I was the biggest one out the crew too, besides my boy Kev. So a lot of times Kev didn't go with us. So we kind of muscle bullied our way out with art stuff because I was the big one.
Yeah. Now this is a gentleman here. I want to say, Will, tell us where you're from. I think this is my boy Wise out of New York. So that's probably why he tagged in, because he knew, he talking about tagging. So Will probably yep, I know what you're talking about, homeboy. Right. This is a dope dude right here with BS3 Network. Again, check him out, on all our BS3 platforms. Okay, so Riskie. Now, where did the forever part come in? How does that, connect with Riskie?
I mean, the forever came in I used to be a part of a few other little groups, like rap groups and stuff back from the 80s, from the 90s to the early 2000s with a few of my friends. But every time we would be in a group, we will always fall out, or something will always go wrong. So the last group that I fell out of, I said, you know what, man? I ain't doing no more groups. From now on, it's just going to be Riskie Forever. And I just added that to my last name. I'm because at the end of the day and the beginning of the day, all I got is me. So it's going to just be me forever. So that's why I added the Riskie Forever.
Love it. And my boy said tagging is a big part of hip hop culture. Yeah,
it sure is. That was a big part of hip hop culture. See, a lot of people don't understand. See, I was inspired from watching Beat Street, from watching Ramo on Beat Street. I wanted to be like Ramo. Everybody else wanted to be like.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? They wanted to be like whoever they wanted to be like, whoever was killing and shooting up and all of that. I wanted to be like Ramo. So.
Yeah, love it. All right, I'm gonna mention a name to you, and I want you just to tell me whatever comes to your mind with this name. Miss Marta Ferris.
Art teacher, still friends to this day. Art teacher 1990, still friends to this day. I can call her, that's my favorite, one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah. And so how instrumental was she in what you developed to become?
I mean, she was super duper instrumental on what I developed to become. I got mad at her a few years. I was like, why you didn't ever make me get out your class? Because I used to ditch and be in art class all day, like in the way she just taught, the way everything was about the way she just, I don't know, she was like that nurturing that I didn't really get at home during that time when I was at school, her. So to this day, we still close. And that's probably why I wanted to be around her so much, because she was showing me that and she was just giving me love. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, we're gonna touch. Let's see. Wise comes back on. He says, the homies and myself would tag anything and everything. I
right,
love it,
like
man.
for real, we did too. Everything, like,
Yeah, love it, man. Love it. Yeah, that became, from what I'm hearing, that became a point of pride as well. Where people will recognize you based on what you tag. You know what I'm saying? They'll figure out,
right,
oh, you that cat, you Risky, or you whatever. Because I
right,
would imagine you put your name on what you tag. Is that right?
right. Basically,
Okay.
yeah. When I was doing it back in the day, I would put Risky and my crew that I was from.
Okay.
And,
Cool.
we'd just get up everywhere. That's basically kind of like, how could you say, like your publicity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's you doing your PR work right
Right.
now. You going out
Yeah.
there putting your name everywhere. So people start Risky. What? Who
Uh-huh.
is that? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
your PR in the streets putting your tag everywhere.
All right. Okay. So now I'm going to touch on something that is in your bio. Now, again, you and I have talked, so I know the sensitive nature of some of this. So I'm going to turn it over to you after I read this piece of it, and you kind of set the landscape for how we need to navigate this Tupac and Death Row situation. Okay.
Hey, look, before we even go right here, I just
Right.
made my mind. Look, because I had to turn down another interview today, like that was really
Uh-huh.
big, like, and I
Yeah.
had to turn that interview down, and it was not because I was told not to do it. I
Mhm.
just kind of felt like I don't want to feel like I'm being restricted
Right.
on
Yep.
everything I say. I got to be
Mhm.
aware of what I say. I got to be conscious of all of that. I want to be able to sit down and be able to tell my story without having a parental
Yeah.
advisory on it, so to
Right.
speak.
Yeah.
So I kind of decided today, like you've been getting at me for the longest about trying to do an interview and sit down with me, and we finally connected. So I'm doing this, but I decided today this show. This is gonna
Mhm.
be the last time that I'm gonna speak on this publicly until after this case is over,
Yeah.
because this is a big situation, and I got a nice team working behind me, and I don't want to jeopardize
That's right.
Right.
anything or say
Absolutely.
anything that could jeopardize anything right now.
Yeah. So
So
for those of you who do not know what's going on, do you want to explain? Because a lot of people may not know exactly what's going on or what's the
Mm-hmm.
restrictions. And first, before you get to say that, I also want to say that it is because of our connection that Risky said, I got you. We're gonna still do this, et cetera, et cetera. Because I know it was a difficult decision and whatnot, but that's the kind of connection we have and whatnot. So tell the folks what's going on that's putting us in this situation.
I mean, right now I'm currently involved in a pending litigation against the Tupac Amaru Shakur Entertainment regarding the copyright ownership of the album artwork I created for Tupac Shakur's The Makaveli, The 7-Day Theory, also known as the Makaveli album. The litigation is pending right now in a Northern District, Texas court right now. So I just recently made a public statement regarding this. And like I said, I don't even know too much of how I should. And like I said, I don't want to be trying to
Yeah,
rearrange or something like that. But
yeah,
I can read that statement to you
yeah. Oh,
guys
yeah,
if you
definitely.
want.
Read
Give
that
me
statement.
1 second. Let me pull it up. I thought I had this copyright in front of my face, but I see right now it only printed a little bit of it, but not all of it.
Right. Okay. So while you're pulling that up, I'm going to ask the queens a couple of things. I'm going to start with you, Lily, go to Mika, and then to Nikki, and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
let Risky read his statement. How would you describe the state of art in our community? And obviously, when I say our community, I mean the Black community.
Yeah.
When you think about art, how would you say and describe it here?
I think when I think about art in our community, I automatically go to music because that's what we associate art with. But I feel like it's so much deeper. And I think one person that has really embraced his art is Chris Brown. Like Chris Brown designs stuff all over his home. Like he's big into art. And I think that he's even made a clothing line with some of his art pieces. But we really don't hear much about art in our community.
Right.
Not drawing, not that type of art. And I think, like I said in the beginning, it's a lack of ignorance.
Right,
I don't think that we do our research on it. I don't think that we do our due diligence in learning about it. Because even Blake and will get all the time. He'll get his stuff out and he will look at drawing videos all the time. If Blake ain't playing soccer, he looking at drawing videos.
Well, we already know the way to get to be a great big time artist is you gotta cheat early. So tell them to start tracing shit.
That's what I'm gonna tell them. Hey, Riskie Forever said trace that much.
Hey, you know what? But you know what? I recommend tracing to anybody that's trying to start off because I mean you learn a lot of things from tracing. So I would recommend that because even now to this day, it's basically like I'm tracing now when I'm using projectors to enlarge giant images to paint.
Yeah. And that's kind of what like he does. And that's one thing. If Kaden starts messing with him, I'm like, he in his own, leave him alone.
Yeah, love it.
But that's the one thing we just gotta learn to do. If they show interest in that, feed them to that. Let them do it. Yeah. I think it's just something that we just don't know as a community.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second. This document is
you're good. We chopping it up while you're doing your thing. Mika, art in our community, the state of it. What is your take on it? How would you describe and
I would say limited. Meaning we only, like a lot of us only see art in a certain way. Like art is in music, art is in drawing, art is in creativity. Everything everything around us is art, but I don't think we view it that way because we haven't been exposed. And even with them tagging, that was art. So when I'm just, it's just different ways to describe it. So I think it's very limited in our community because we have not been exposed to it. And sometimes people think art is not cool, but it's just the way they look at it.
Yeah. All right. And Nicole.
Yeah, I totally agree with Mika about it not being us being exposed to it. But I remember when we were growing up, when Shalon would
them Indian faces,
and she was really a great artist.
Yeah.
And I always thought that she would be, that was what she was going to grow up to be, because she was so into it like that. But I've never had anybody else that I knew around me who did art except for her like that. And she had a great passion for it. So I always thought she would be an artist.
Okay.
That kind of makes me think of a question for Riskie. So when you got into art, did your parents ever frown upon you wanting to do art professionally? Because some people be like, well, art ain't paying the bills, or that's not a career. We see that. But did they ever try to shy you away from doing art as a living?
I think they just didn't know. I don't think that they knew how to nurture an artist. But I don't ever think that they told me to shy away from being an artist. Because it's a lot of times in my career where my mom will say to me, like, I never expected for you to do so much. Well, I remember just watching you lay on your stomach, drawing your notebook, and I never expected for you to do some of the stuff that I've seen you do with that. So, that's surprising because, like I said, I'm glad that, I have that with my mom where she's appreciative for that and she's giving me my accolades for that, because I know that it was a hard time for her to try to discover how she was going to raise an artist when she never raised an artist before.
Right.
So
wow. So when you used to lay on your stomach and draw, would you kick your feet back at the back?
Yeah. Yeah. Clapping my ankles together and all that.
The visual I just had.
Oh my God.
but you gotta take like 40 off of it though.
You got the document pulled up yet?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll read it. So this is my current situation right now. So I am currently not at liberty to discuss all of the issues surrounding the litigation against Amaru, but here is my public statement on this case. As an independent artist, my ultimate goal has always been to pay homage to Tupac through my artwork and to work with the Tupac estate. When my painting was used for the Makaveli album, it was a validation of Tupac's belief in my talent. However, it's disheartening that Amaru continues to bully me in an attempt to prevent me from using or selling my artwork. The irony is not lost on me that Tupac was an artist himself, and now his estate is trying to prevent another artist from making a living. Despite Amaru's assertion that they own my works, I actually licensed my artwork to them a few years ago to use in the film. Additionally, I sold the rights to the Christmas on Death Row artwork to Death Row. If Amaru truly owned my artwork, why would they have licensed it from me? Ultimately, I just want to be fairly compensated by those who are using my artwork. Tupac was about uplifting the underdog, and that's exactly what I am in this situation. I would hope that Amaru will honor Tupac's legacy and ensure that independent artists are given the recognition and compensation they deserve.
Love it. So let me ask you this. This is a general term, okay? General, it's not case specific, okay? And if I'm wrong in my estimation of that, don't hesitate to say it, but I think this is general enough to where you can answer it. When an artist draws something today, no matter what it is an image of, would you consider that intellectual property? Because I would you consider that intellectual property when an artist draws something, much in the way when a rapper spits some words? You know, these words are words that you can find in the Webster's dictionary or on Google or whatever, but still it's my intellectual property when I put it on wax. Would you consider an artist renderings intellectual property?
No. From what I've learned just dealing with this case and talking to attorneys in regards to that is that copyright beats intellectual property.
Okay.
So anytime you're an artist and you draw something, that is now your image, and it is considered creativity. See, this is a lot of things we don't know as artists. Some of us don't know, and this is what I want to make some artists aware of. See, I don't want to just be a beacon for me and what I'm going through, but I want to be a beacon for other artists that are not aware of the rights we have as artists, because we do have rights because we are the creators out here. So what I'm saying to that is that I found out once again that copyright beats intellectual property. So your image is your image as long as it's your image. But if I create your image, it is mine.
Right.
I'm a creator.
Yeah.
And as long I could sell that image as long as it is not considered merchandise. So as long as I am selling it as art, I'm allowed to do so. Now I can't step out here and create an image of you and do whatever I want with that image and start selling t-shirts of you. I couldn't do that. I couldn't sell socks, shoes, pants, and other things that we would consider merchandise. But if I wanted to sell something that was considered artwork, like how I have these paintings on the wall behind me, I could do that. I can do a flag, a banner, anything that is considered artwork.
Love it, man. That's a great explanation. Great explanation. So I'm going to look at a couple of the pictures I pulled off of your site, off of your social media, because let me just tell y'all, Queens, this is what I'm asking him to do for Queen3 and King when he gets an opportunity, and that is to draw a Queen3 and King, his interpretation of our show or our logo or something. I'm going to have him do for us one day, okay? Because I think the brother is uber talented.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's one of the pieces that I pulled off of the
Nice.
website.
Dope.
The detail in that is just remarkable.
Yeah.
And that's actually Tupac's stepdad, Mutulu Shakur, that just was released from prison. Like,
Oh,
he's a
wow.
Black
Okay.
Panther. And I had that picture. I had painted that picture to be able to present to him.
Yeah, love it, man. Love it. Talk to us about this one. This one caught my attention too.
I mean, that's the insert for the All Eyes on Me album, just
Yeah.
recreated. And it was that picture was actually taken in London.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's that there, man. It's just, I mean, it's just amazing. Okay, where are we here? So this looks like you're looking at some tagging.
So that photo is in Dallas, I believe, in the art district somewhere around Deep Ellum. I did a shoot out there, so I took that photo when I was out there.
Okay. Now, do you have? I'm gonna go away from some images. We'll come back to some images in a minute because I need to breathe before I put this image up here, and you'll see why in a minute. But do you put on shows like where people can go look at your art and purchase if necessary and stuff like that?
Actually, I've never done a show before. That's something that I'm trying to look into doing in the future because, like I said, I've never done one before. I have other artist friends, and I'm watching them do it all the time. I've never took the time out. I've always wanted to, but I've never took the time out. So that's definitely something that I would like to look into the future because I just like to see how many people would love to have something from me.
Oh, that's no doubt.
Something in mind. I would like to see that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Matter of fact, I have a cousin that I've gone to a couple of different art shows in like the Deep Ellum area, downtown Dallas area, uptown area, and whatnot. So he's a photographer. So he used to be in that scene real deep, So that is surprising me to hear. So when it comes to pieces that I'd like to have and that I need to take a sip of water before I look at it.
Oh
my God. He drew this for me, I know. Tell me a little bit about this.
Oh my God. Knew that caught your eye.
Tell me a little bit about this piece, man. It's got a title too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's called Come Get Me, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's called Waiting for You, something.
Oh, Waiting for You. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I actually painted that for a dentist friend of mine in New Jersey.
Wait a minute, she a dentist? Give me the information. Shit,
no. She's not a dentist.
I'm gonna say my teeth is hurting right now. I'm gonna go get a cleaning or something.
Oh, geez.
No, I painted that for a dentist friend of mine. It's crazy story how I ended up doing that painting for him, but he actually did a favor for me to fix somebody's tooth.
Okay.
And he was like, "Give me a painting and I'll fix it." So that was the painting I had gave him.
I love it, man. That's hey.
And he's a big art collector as well.
Okay, I love it.
So it was like he wanted that piece for me because he added it to his collection, and he'd be like, "Oh man, they better get up on you."
Yeah. Yeah. And where is this at? This looks like
I don't know where that is. Somebody sent that image. Might be made somewhere. Somebody sent that to me. I thought it was dope.
Oh yeah.
So I posted it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that is a very intricate part of hip hop. That album.
Oh
Yeah.
It's rightfully been described as the most iconic image in hip hop. I mean, think about that for a second. Let me back out of this. Think about that for a second, man. As big and as storied as hip hop is, you are connected with an image that has been described as the most iconic, the most talked about image in a genre that may be one of the deepest and dopest in all musical genres. How does it feel to have something to do with something like that, man?
I mean, it definitely feels good to know because a lot of artists, we strive to be able to create that thing that will outlive us.
Oh, wow. That's strong, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So I've already done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is part of that. So I'm definitely thankful for that part of Tupac's life to be able to create that. But what would be sweeter to me is if I could get the rights to my album art. That's when it'll mean the most to me right now, because right now I got a group of people banded together to want to try to take my legacy from me in hip hop. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people just look at, oh, they fighting over a painting. No, that's my legacy in hip hop. You know what I mean? And like I said, we strive to be able to create something that'll outlive us. And that thing is gonna outlive me, outlive my kids, they kids. That's gonna be a big part of history. And like for somebody to want to take that from you, that's a lot.
Right.
From Tracing to Makaveli cover.
Yeah, we got some viewers on the show today. They have such groups as one's called 100 Fathers. The other one is called Transcend for the Community and Mon X. And then we have another brother that's got a podcast that's called Elevate, you know, and they are all community based, you know, trying to elevate the community podcast. So those words resonate with some of the folks we connected to for sure. Talk to me about this piece right here, man. What's the deal with this?
I mean, I did that piece right there. That was a recreation of the Dogfather art that I also helped put together. That's actually gonna be I think it's gonna be like in London. They're trying to get it to where somebody can actually have it in a show out in London, so people will be able to see it. So that's one of the pieces. It wasn't even done right there before I took that photo, but that's what it's being used for. So it'll be in an exhibit in London.
Okay, cool. Now let me ask you this: whenever somebody commissions you for art, you know, or if I say to you, you know, hey, do something for Queen3 and King, and I'm like this, I like to let people who are experts in their field be experts in their field. So I try not to give you too much direction. When it comes to the Queen3 and King logo, when it came to the intro that we played, when you'll see the outro later, I just told them, this is how I see it. You go do what you want to do with it. I give them creative liberty, basically. So whenever somebody commissions you for something, how do you work off of it? Do you work off of a photo? Do you have conversations with them and say, hey, what are you thinking? How would you do that?
Yeah, that's the first thing that I ask them. Like, what's your concept? What are you thinking? Like, what's your idea for what you want?
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? And then once, you know, they give me that concept, I'll be like, what photos you got? What do you see yourself in this vision? What photos do you got to match that vision? So
I've got
then they send me photos, and then I look over those photos. And once I look over those photos, I pick the best photo that I feel like is best for what I want to put together. So then I kind of take that photo, and then I'll to start doing my artwork around that photo, and then I'll give it to them. And then if they like it, we move with it. If they want to change something, we change it.
Okay.
That's usually how I operate.
Have anybody ever sent something back? Man, I don't like none of this. Anybody ever that came to you like that?
I mean, I don't, to be honest, I don't really have a throwback rate. I don't have nobody. I've never had nobody that just made me feel like, oh, I got to get him something else, or I got a problem, or they or they didn't like my work and they just left. I never had that type of situation, because I give you 3 tries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna love what you're gonna love.
Yeah.
You gotta love something within the 3 tries, but then we gotta be respectful of people's time at the same time. You know what I mean? So I give you the 3 tries, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of times when I create something, it'd be a one-hitter quitter. So I don't really have no worries. So
because he's that good, baby.
I mean, now, I'm not saying I'm not good. I feel like I'm good. I'm good at what I know how to do. So, and if you're looking for my style, you'll like it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, as Riskie will tell you, when we talk, I have a ton of ideas, you know, and hopefully one day, Riskie, we are talking about, and I think this is okay to say, about him getting a podcast on BS3 Network one day, because we need to be artists, you know.
Oh no, we talking about that.
Yeah.
I want my boy C-Ray. I've been talking to him about that. I don't know. He's a real popular artist out of Dallas, and I felt like if me and him can kind of combine ourselves, and then how 100 we is, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll open up for a good little get down if we're just talking real things, you know what I'm saying? Real shit. We talking art, we talking depression, we talking about life, you know what I mean? Because we all go through these type of scenarios. So
we're gonna put that together, man. But I had another idea while you was talking, and that's, you know how these little art parties that all the females go to, where they got the wine and they doing the
Painting with
canvas
the
paintings.
kids.
Yeah, sipping
Have
paint.
you ever did one of those, man?
I did one actually before I moved out here to Dallas, and I kind of was like, I think this gonna be my first and my last, because it was just like,
Thank you, Lord.
Really?
it was a lot for me to deal with. It was like a lot of people. I think if I did it, I would have to pre-draw everybody's artwork, so that way I could tell you what line, what part to paint, where the color at, what spot. Because when I did something and I tried to show you what line to make and how we gonna make this wine glass, I think too many people don't pay attention to, and I gotta instruct.
But I think as a for real professional artist, it can be a lot, because all we come in there to do is drink for real, and we probably getting on your nerves.
Yeah,
Right. It's not, and it's not that people get on my nerves. I just kind of feel like when you there to do something, like, yeah, we there to have fun too, but you got to like pay attention at the same time, because you got to look at it like, I came in here, you didn't come in here just to get drunk. You came in here to have a nice time and be able to create something. So
Riskie, I'm gonna tell you this for sure. I done been to about 4 of them.
Yeah,
I've been to about 4 of them, and all my paintings look a hot mess. I was not serious.
So here the deal is, number one, he reminded me of Keegan when he said, at the same time, you got to pay attention. When he said that, I saw Keegan. That's my nephew.
That's my son.
But I've just been smiling this whole time because he sounds like Compton. Like,
I mean,
he just got that Compton talk.
When he said I ain't really had no throwback, I said, okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I done had throwback, but can nobody be in there? You feel me?
I mean,
let's end this. Let's end this.
I done had a throwback. You hear me? But hey, check this out though, Riskie. So I got, when I say I'm thinking about this as a whole vibe in terms of that little art party situation, man. And with the wine and with the, I can already hear the playlist that I'm gonna hit them with, and you maybe you can have 2 artists in there kind of running the show.
Heck yeah.
But again, I'm talking about money making opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's line it up.
And see, here the deal is, Risk. You are, because you are a professional, you are more concerned with the end product because your name is associated with it, right? You don't want folks to come out of there with some hot mess like Mika's, and they like, where you get this at? Riskie Forever. They're like, that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want that to go down. But as you can see with Mika, she done been to 4 of them, and all of them are a hot mess, and she'll go back to a 5th. So it ain't about that for them. So you got to look at it from their perspective. You got to look at it from their perspective. You're just facilitating a good time.
Like I said, I just got to pre-draw everybody's stuff so I can
the last one,
I think that'd be better.
The last one I went
a blank canvas, and I said, "Let's go, follow me, let's go."
Yeah.
The last one I went to was they traced it for us, so it was even better. So all you doing is really
that's what I'm saying. Give y'all something already traced out, and y'all just know where the color.
Because we already know ours is not going to look like yours.
Right. So Mika, let me ask you this: as we're trying to develop this concept, were yours at places or houses, or where were they at?
One was at a house, one was at a place, and then
like a house ain't a place.
2 were at different places, and then one our boss did for us for a Christmas party. She brought in we couldn't, of course, we couldn't have the wine, but she brought in the.
I personally think, as I look over my spot over here, I personally think I got the spot to be able to pull this off. You follow what I'm saying? And
you could, because you can knock them up down the hall.
Yeah, Riskie, when we get together, I'm gonna bring you through. We need to work on this, man. We really do.
Okay, I got supplies out here.
Okay, I want to see my art. I
got enough stuff for up to 22 people, I think.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, so you got 3 spots already taken right there, and 4, I guess, because I'm gonna count myself in one. Let's see, and we're gonna do it to where food is gonna be a part of their price and all that other stuff. And I'm gonna put that together. Oh, we finna get Ann. She finna go get these ugly paintings that she done did at these shows. All right, so we got some people. Lily, I don't know if you can tell who this is. They were saying agreed on some other stuff. I don't know what they were saying. They agreed upon something that he was saying.
I think this gonna have to be a thing where you get like we get a whole setup.
What you mean?
Like a whole.
Hey, that's kind of fly
That's not
right
bad.
there.
That's not.
Yeah,
That's not
that's kind of
bad.
fly right there.
Was that the one that Trace Mika you did by yourself?
It was already traced.
See, I knew it.
Right.
That's
See,
why.
I'm gonna give y'all something already traced too.
Yeah, that's what's up. See, that's not bad. Let's see. That's so awesome. Okay, well, Lily, we're gonna get back to your comment about a whole setup in just a second. That was so
Okay.
awesome. This what a legacy is all about. Agreed. Again, I don't know who that is. I don't know if you can tell, Lily. Then this other Facebook user said, "That's what I need. I can't draw nothing but stick people." So they said they need you to trace it. So we got some customers there. Here go another customer, Vanita.
Birthday parties and everything.
Vanita Mac Attack from way back. She goes, "This is a wonderful concept with many avenues."
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. This other Facebook user says, "Please invite me." She goes, "I'll share some ideas." Vanita.
Oh,
again.
it's twin.
Hey,
Okay.
twin.
Okay, that says what?
Twin.
Which one, Lily? Which
The please invite me.
Okay, oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Facebook user, was that a self-portrait? I think he's asking about Mika's question. I think Mika. I don't know what they asking about. Okay, twin. She said that's what it is. Okay, great. So as you can see, Riskie, we already got some takers.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about it. But anyway, we are out of time, and like you said earlier, I want to be respectful of your time. We got plenty. We're gonna definitely have to have you back on when we get this podcast situation. We're gonna have you come here to promote it, so folks will know dates and times, and we're gonna get introduced to your homeboy here, your fellow artist. We'll bring him on. C-Ray.
Yeah.
We'll
Y'all
bring
gotta
him
come
on.
through. You know, if y'all want to have a good time, y'all want to clown around and hear some real shit. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
That's
put it
what's
out
up.
there.
Yeah, that's what's up. We bought it. I promise. When hey,
Talk
let me
about
just
some
say,
real. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about some
no
real
cap,
topics.
no cap, Risk, no
Yeah,
cap.
no
Y'all
cap,
been called
no
and
cap.
they want their
The
word
the
back.
first thing I want to talk about is this. But look, this is just the prelude. The first thing I want to talk about as Black men. A lot of times we got to be strong for everybody. We got to be strong for our mama. We got to be strong for our mamas. We got to be strong for our daddy. We got to be strong for our girl. We got to be strong for our family. We got to be strong for our cat. We got to be strong for our dog. We got to be strong for everybody.
I'm strong for the cat. You better believe
Right,
that.
but we gotta be strong for everybody. But who is strong for us when we need somebody to be strong for us? Because it's hard for Black men to be vulnerable out here to somebody without somebody trying to say something negative about them for being vulnerable out here. And I don't want to say, I don't want to call no names because I don't want nobody to think I'm some type of way I ain't. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I just want to say, as Black men, we got to be strong for everybody. So when is it all right for somebody to be strong for us?
I like it.
I love it.
Not the cat.
I'm saying you got to be strong for the cat, the dog, the plumber, the rat, the skunk. You got to be strong for everybody as a Black man. You know what I'm saying? But
that's true.
Who's strong for us? Who's strong for us? Because a lot of times we can't keep carrying all of the weight. Sometimes we break down too. You can have the best car, but if you put 100 horses in the trunk, it's liable to break down.
Yeah.
So
That's
all I'm saying.
That's right.
It's okay
Too much
for us
weight.
to break down
Too much
as Black
weight.
men.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Right.
That's what's
they
up.
try to make it hard for us to be able to say we depressed or this is what we're going through. Right. A lot of times we be depressed off of other people's problems that they be putting on us.
That's right. That's right. That's why, Riz, that conversation we had a few weeks ago, man, was so powerful.
Yeah, man, because you brought me out of that space, bro. Like for real.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And I could tell the difference immediately too. Just over the next few days and few weeks with your post and you start painting back again and all that other stuff. I loved it, man.
Right.
Love it. Twin says can't draw but both but stick people.
Twin can't draw but nothing but stick people.
We got Brian Snowman with Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson on.
Hello.
Good evening, folks. What's up? And then that's Munt asking if Miko.
He trying to say it's my head. You jerk.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
And he's supposed to be your friend.
Girl, he really don't. He don't care about me.
And then Snowman says, so true from a fellow who suffers from depression and anxiety. That's what's up, man.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Mental health, man.
Right.
And again, I got 3/4 of a sheet that I didn't get to. It's just basic stuff too. So we definitely need to have you on. We need to bring your boy on with you. But we got some stuff to get rolling, man. So we need to connect and link real soon.
Oh man, well I told you, man. Once I got my car back, you see, I hit you up. I even I turned my phone around. I still got your text locked to number 1. You at the top. You pinned at the top. You know what I'm saying?
He said, I'm finna pin your text to the top. He was mad at himself. He goes, man, I'm mad I didn't call you back earlier. You know, whatever. So love it. So again, we got Mr. Riskie on with us, Ronald, Riskie, Brent, Riskie Forever. Go to www.riskieforever.com and tell them where they can find you, where they can support you on social media, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, right here, Riskie Forever. That spelling right there at Riskie Forever. You can find me at Riskie Forever on Instagram, at Riskie Forever on Twitter, riskieforever.com, riskieforever@gmail.com. Everything Riskie Forever.
Love it.
That's easy.
And he is available for hire. If you want to commission art, give him a holler. He can put something together for you.
Oh, I definitely do commissions. I'll definitely do that.
Oh, is this your boy? I think it is. It's because I can C-Ray. That look like a C-Ray.
That's my boy C-Ray right there.
Yeah. All right,
what's up, C-Ray?
Hey, Ray.
Yeah, Risky Business. All right. Is that the name of the podcast right there? Risky Business? That's not a bad one.
I think we're gonna call it Artist Life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
both of
down
us
with
is an
that
artist, you know what I'm saying? And we talking about life, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And we
Artist life.
Yeah, matter of fact, Risky, we even talked about the music and stuff. See, we was arguing about who music we was gonna use. He's talking, no, I got somebody for music. I'm like, I got 3 or 4 beats ready. Now I got somebody, you know. So yeah.
Hey man, I gotta, you know, I ain't opposed to listening to those, but I just, you know, I always, my boy Day One out in LA, he like a big time producer. And me and him that does some stuff together. So I always told Day One, like, man, if I ever do a show, I want you to do something for my get down. You know what I'm saying? And he know he owed me that favor. So right now he doing big things out in LA. So I definitely want to be from Day One.
Tag, he ain't new to this. He true to this. Get out of his business.
Wow. Speaking of 1900s needing their terminology back, you may want to check in with it.
I don't know, because your about it was
don't do that.
Hey, hey, knuck if you buck. Hell, I don't care, you know.
Baby, I still dance off of that.
Hey man, hey, don't get it mixed up. I love some music from the South, though. Like,
don't
get it mixed up.
But no, hey, as far as your partner out in LA and stuff like that, man, if he's got music videos and stuff like that, again, we put stuff on like that on our Roku TV channel, man, giving folks the platform and giving them pub and stuff like that. Whatever he needs, man, we can get him put up there and stuff like that. So I love it. Chris C-Ray says solid interview. Hey, we appreciate you, man. Hey, C-Ray, we gonna have you on with him next time so we can promote this podcast and stuff like that, man. So we need to get together. We're gonna link, man, and go out and have a drink or cigar or something like that together.
Yeah, man. We need to do that. We need to do that because, like, I definitely, like, you know, it's definitely a lot going on since you've been busy that I haven't even been able to even go over with you because you like that spiritual guidance now. We ain't even knew each other 20 minutes, but it seemed like I done know you for all my life now, just the way, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna chop it up.
You don't meet no stranger.
Yeah, I don't.
He don't. Talk just like his mama.
All right. So again, Ronnie, Riskie Forever.
I'm telling her too.
Brent on with us next week. We're gonna be messy next week.
Messy.
Hey, look here. We ain't gonna bring no guest on, so we don't have to behave at all. We gotta remember Discover though. We can't act too much of a fool because Discover gonna be like, never mind. So next episode, family business, is taking family business to social media too far.
Oh, I wish I could be on that one. That's a cold
Bring
thing
him on,
right there, man.
Baby, we gonna talk about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah, Yeah, and see, I'm gonna tell you another thing too about our podcast, Family Risky, is that when we have a good topic, we want other shows to talk about it on their show too.
Hey, I gotta steal
Right?
that
So
topic.
you can have
I gotta steal that
it. You
topic
can
right
have
there,
it.
bro.
You can have it. Hey, I
Absolutely.
got one right now, Risky, that's called 99 Problems that I'm developing. And that's all I got so far is just the title. It's called 99 Problems. Yeah, see, you saw how many. See, that's a creative right there. He knows how many ways you can go with that, right?
Man,
and it's
I
not gonna
already
be the
know.
tradition. It ain't gonna be what you think. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be what you think it's gonna be. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get back messy next week. So make sure you tune in next week, April the 11th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on another episode of Queen3 and King. We're gonna give some final thoughts here. We're gonna start with the season queen, work our way down, and let Brother Risky say what he needs to say at the end as well. Let's start with you, Coco.
First of all, thank you for being on our podcast this week. And I like all of your art that you shared on here. It was wonderful. I really, really like it.
Yeah.
So, and I appreciate you for taking the time to be on the podcast with us. I also have another something that I didn't even get a chance to talk to you about it, Tig, but with Keegan's Place, which is my nonprofit for mental health, we are going to be doing the NAMI walk this year.
Okay.
And so it starts
like the one we did at Fair Park a few years ago before COVID and stuff like that.
And one in Frisco we did.
How far is it? Another 5K?
Yes.
No, I only got 3Ks left. Go ahead.
Boys, you gonna but anybody that wants to be a part of the Keegan's Place team, just let me know.
Okay, cool.
Early as possible. It'll let me know, because I want to make sure that we have a team together so that we can go and walk and we can do donations like we did in previous years to help everybody that is going through mental health problems and stuff, and including my own son. That's what the name Keegan's Place came from, was because my son himself suffers from mental health. But so I just want to, I would really love everybody who can possibly come, because everybody I know somebody that has that.
Yeah, it's a good time too, because if you out there walking with us, because I'm telling you, the last walk we clowned the whole time.
It was so fun.
All right, we talking about other folks who got a little hitch and they giddy up when they walk. This year might be a little harder because me and Mika we've been sharing knee braces, so shit, I don't know who's gonna get to use the knee brace. Maybe we can switch knee braces at every K.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, but there it is. I've saved the Cash App information for Keegan's Place in our banner, so there it is. $ Keegan's PL, again, $ KEEGANSPL for the people who are listening on audio only versions of this. And if you put in the memo Q3 and K, or you can put in the memo also the NAMI walk, and that's spelled NAMI, right? And that stands for the National Association of
for mental health.
Okay, great.
Institute.
Whatever, you know what I mean. Queen3 and King, we'll do something. But yeah, you get a nice little. You're gonna give out T-shirts this year for the people that's on the team and stuff too.
I'm probably gonna get some T-shirts together, but I need to have a head count first of everybody.
All right, yeah, that's it. Do you know where the walk is going to be held?
The walk is in Frisco at the ballpark.
Okay. Oh, okay, good.
Like,
That's
at the ballpark. That's right by my house.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So it sounds like to me, Risky say he in.
Yeah,
I'll slide.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
What day is it on again?
And have some pieces in the trunk too, just in case we need to set up a pop-up shop right there.
I told y'all he talked like Wilma.
What day did you say it's on again?
May 6th, Saturday, May 6th.
Okay, so that's next month. Okay.
Next month.
Yeah, put it on your calendar, man. All right. All right.
You gonna keep me aware?
Okay.
I am. All right, Mika, go ahead.
Thanks to the audience for listening and tuning in and for your great comments. Riskie, we love your art and we know it's going to excel. And we appreciate you for being on the show. And if you're gonna be on this walk, make sure you got your dogs on leashes. That really pissed me off last year.
Yeah, she's scared.
I wouldn't even bring my dog. He wouldn't even make a whole walk that far.
Put him on a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of them Frenchies. He can't even walk a whole block.
Oh,
without
no.
help. He had to
Frenchie,
stop.
I think it was for 2022 because 2023 is new, but the list that just came out to the #1 most popular dog, the French Bulldog just took over first place ahead of the Labrador and Golden Retriever and German Shepherd. So they are #1 now. So
And he can't walk no further than 2 blocks.
yeah. All right, the baby queen. Final thoughts, man.
Riskie, thank you so much for tracing and becoming that fraud, because we wouldn't have what we have today if you didn't. So I'm going to forever say, remember when you was a fraud? Because that's tipping me.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That was a cold one right there.
Because that tickled me. That tickled me. But I am super proud of you. I think it's so dope what you've done. Your catalog is what it's all about. Like you said, it's all about building that legacy, and you've done it. You've done the work. You've done exactly what you needed to make your stamp on this world. So continue to pour into other artists, because you taught us something when you talked about just the protection and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know it got that deep. So
right. Well, it's all a part of those failures that we have to use into learning. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we don't. A lot of people look at failures and they look at it as a failure, but you got to look at it as a learning process. Like, why did you fail?
Yeah.
So,
but we appreciate you for joining us, viewing audience. We appreciate you guys every week. We love you guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you guys.
It's on you. Your final thoughts. If you got anything else you want to say, Riskie, you can say it.
The first thing I want to say is I appreciate you guys for having me, for, just listening, just wanting to know my story. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate everybody out there in the audience that's sitting out there for your beautiful comments. I really appreciate that. Because I know your time is valuable and you can spend that time doing anything in the world. So I appreciate you spending the time to, sit here and listen to us and get familiar with my story. And the last thing I want to say is that it's okay to get shine, but just be careful how you get in the light.
I heard that.
That's good.
I heard that. And before I give my final comments, let me just get these last few comments here. I don't know who this is. But they're referring to me. When you was tracing, I was still in honey buns. You see me? Okay. So that's why they said I'm gonna paint a picture of Tig in a honey bun and name it Honey Bun Bandit. That must be Weeda. No, that can't be Weeda because her name was coming up.
She said it ain't Weeda. She said Weeda.
Oh,
okay, that was her. Okay. And Twin is interested in the walk as well. We got Weeda. So I'm already claiming everybody who's on this show gonna be at the NAMI walk. Okay. And that's in town anyway, because Snowman is not in town. But the Twin, Munt, Weeda, C Ray, you in it too. You got to be at the walk with us. That'll give you opportunity to meet some of the BS3 Network family and stuff like that as well that day. Yeah. So Vanita, she's there. CJ. So everybody that was on today, being if he's now being Saturdays are tough for him. But everybody that was on the program, we're gonna want y'all with us.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I have to have a list of everybody because I have to provide that to them. Yeah. And then if the donations for that is gonna go, whatever donations I get will go to NAMI from Keegan's place.
Okay, great. All right. So I'll get you the list that I know from this show, and people, if you need to reach out to us, y'all know how to get a hold of us. If you're watching, you know how to get a hold of us. Okay, and so for me, my final thoughts are so the first thing I'll say is that we're just getting started, Riskie. See, up to this point, folks have said, I've even said, that you put such a huge stamp on by having one of the most iconic images in hip hop. But what I'm going to say is that's just going to only be one of the things that you've done, right? We're going to make that look little. Okay, that's what I'm claiming now, right? You got bigger to do. And I'm telling you right now, y'all done already heard him say, this is kind of like my spiritual advisor, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm finna do is I'm finna push him and say, we finna make this an afterthought. you know, at the end of the day. We're going to push him because I think this dude is one of the dopest dudes I done heard. He has surprised me with his level of insight and intelligence. And I think he's got so much more inside. And that's why it's such a struggle right now, right? When the enemy don't want you to get that out there. See, the enemy don't break in no empty house. If we went out, I didn't go to a store that didn't have honey buns to steal honey buns. I went to the store that I knew had the freshest of honey buns. So again, and you know, and the enemy is not going to break into, I mean, a thief ain't going to break into no empty house. You know, so again, you struggle for a reason. But the saying is, it's normally darkest before the dawn. Okay, so hey, get ready. And that's consistent in my conversation with you. Bigger and better is coming. We got some more stuff to do. All right. So that my sisters have aptly said, we love your art. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: I love you more than I love your art.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Sit on that. Sit on that. I love you more than I love your art. Okay. And your art is pretty dope, especially that one picture with that. I'm waiting for you, man. You need to, I need
something for you.
Okay, for you. Hey, whatever it's called, I need a copy to put under my bed for when times get hard. I can't hang it on the wall. I'm gonna pull it out.
If we don't end this show.
All right. So we appreciate y'all again. Next week, we getting funky again. But again, hey, we appreciate everybody who's been a part of this one. Another episode of Queen 3 and King, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, family.
Bye.
Bro, bring the hook in. Queen 3 and King, we the team. It's going down. We the talk of the town. It's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns. It's going down. Tune in now. It's going down. It's going down. We just hit you with another one. It's going down. We just hit you with another one. It's going down. We just hit you with another one. Tune in now. We just hit you with another one. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King.